Welcome to Walk-Ons. I'm Morgan Smith. We got Frank Sides, Jay Davis, Tony Langford here for another weekly edition show at Walk-Ons. Excited about it. We're going to have special guest Derrick Henry. Might as well be Derrick Henry.
We need to market this a little better.
Derrick Brown's going to be on us. I think he's up to about 20 offers now or something. It's nuts. We'll have him on here in a little bit. But before we get there, I'm going to talk about something I don't want to talk about because y'all know how my dislike for baseball. But now they're giving me more reason to dislike them. What is going on with this Hall of Fame stuff, Frank?
Well, not a lot you can say. They aren't real pleased about some of the character issues some of the folks are looking at, and there wasn't anybody on the ballot that was a first ballot consensus Hall of Famer on the field that didn't cheat.
Is my mic working?
I mean, is it cheating if they allowed it?
No, not to me. I'd put him in today. It plays as a sham. I'm not stepping foot in it.
I'm sorry. Barry Bonds has to be in the Hall of Fame for me. For me, Barry Bonds is the best player I've ever watched. I mean, when the bases are loaded and you intentionally walk them, you're a bad man.
Yeah. I'm not a baseball fan, but I do know Curt Schilling was that dude.
Oh, yeah.
And him to be asked to remove from ballot, I know he's done a lot of things post-baseball life that's going to keep him from ever getting in the Hall of Fame because he's so unlikable.
Yeah.
But it was Roger Clemens. He didn't get in.
Do you know how many?
And I also remember growing up, Roger Clemens was that dude. Why?
Do you know how many unlikable people are in the Hall of Fame right now?
Well, and to me, the Hall of Fame has everything to do with what you did on the field.
Absolutely.
And if the communities and the owners of those teams are going to surround themselves with players that, may not make 100% perfect character decisions and moral decisions, right now, if Morgan did the same thing, your set would be empty right now. So, I mean, no one out there is perfect. But the reason why they brought the Hall of Fame is to, basically celebrate those that were the best on the field. And to not allow the best to be recognized, call it something else.
Yeah.
I agree.
It's no longer, to me, the Hall of Fame. It hasn't been that way for probably about 10 to 15
Well, you got a lot of guys that didn't play sitting there voting on it. I mean, didn't compete. There's a lot of sports writers that didn't
I don't
compete.
think that's a great argument, Tony, that, just because they didn't play the sport professionally, they
they have a different attitude towards
all right, so this is my issue since, let's be honest, a year and a half ago, none of us had no experience in broadcast, media, or any of that, to my knowledge, right?
Yeah.
All right, now we have a little. But, all right, so Ken Griffey Jr., what was he, one vote short of being the first unanimous player ever, right?
Something like that.
All right, so I don't have to know what happened. I'm going to tell you what happened. All right, you ain't got to tell me because I know this is the only logical explanation. Somebody's been sitting at a job at a newspaper or something for 20 years, and they know this guy's going to be unanimous, so they're just not going to vote for him. And then he gets to go on ESPN and be on Baseball Tonight and defend his decision to get his notoriety. That is the issue with the setup they have right now. I don't have an issue with people not playing the game because you can be a fan. We didn't play professional football,
Yeah.
You know, we're talking about football. You know,
I
mean,
I agree
like,
with that. But the deal is how they look at it, and you know, you got 20, 25-year-olds competing in an era where I say 50% of the players took it. I mean, it is.
Yeah.
And sports writers don't understand
that's my argument. It would be different if it was like they were actively trying to stop it, but they weren't.
Yeah.
You know,
keep in mind the same writers that are voting for the Hall of Fame are the same writers that voted for Barry Bonds' 11 MVPs or whatever.
Yeah.
Same crew. They just now they're the gatekeepers because they can be. It's frustrating. I'm not stepping foot in the Hall of Fame until he's in it. It's worthless to me. Like, he's literally the best player to ever live, and it's a museum about baseball. And our Mecca, like the GOAT, isn't in the no.
All-time hits leader still ain't in there either.
Yeah, exactly.
And
on top of that, if Twitter existed in 1930, there'd only be 5 people in that thing. Hell, they'd probably burn it down.
I'll tell you, if Ty Cobb can be in there, anybody can.
Yeah, that's no. I don't know a lot about baseball. I don't know that dude.
Well,
he wouldn't be playing professional baseball today.
In Babe Ruth as well.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's not like he had a pristine, you know, out of the game, you know, character out there.
Yeah, and Mickey Mantle come to some games drunk. I mean, it's just the facts.
It's just to me like it just gives somebody who's not really a fan. It just gives me another reason to be like, I told you so.
Yeah.
You know, like I thought the TO thing, not getting in first ballot, I was like, but you know, you can make an argument for it. But Barry Bonds, I don't have to be a big baseball fan to know Barry Bonds might have been the best to ever walk.
Yeah.
You know,
He was.
And like, oh, he used steroids. Well, like, are you not going to put Alex Rodriguez in? Because we know he's getting in.
Well,
they're going to put him in.
He's up for the ballot next year for the first time.
Yeah, and he'll get in.
And Ortiz, I mean, are they not going to let him in?
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Like, so what is the beef with Barry? I mean, I know he wouldn't do interviews and things like that, but I mean,
well, they think he cheated. In my opinion, everyone was doing it, and he was the best of that era.
They think he cheated, and a lot of people don't like him. I know one of his ex-teammates and said he was the hardest to get along guy with they have ever been around in their life. So if you combine that with them saying he cheated, it's a little bit of both. The media didn't like him even back when he was good. I mean, you know, even back when he was playing.
Yeah.
Well, and I didn't like him either because that wasn't my team.
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, I used to enjoy
but I can respect what he was able to accomplish on the field.
I used to love watching them hitting them out in the water, though.
Yeah. I remember people out there in their kayaks.
And I tell you, I went to San Francisco about 2 years ago, and you don't realize what's out there. There's a walkway right behind the fence. I mean, it's an awesome experience out there.
Yeah, and imagine his whole life he's been the best at this. And unlike other team sports, having the best player to ever live on your team for a decade usually leads to 1, 2, 3 titles. Baseball's not a team sport.
Yeah.
Technically it is, but Barry Bonds only gets to hit 4 times in a game.
Yeah.
You add LeBron to a basketball team, he's going to win a championship. You add Tom Brady to a football team, he's going to win a title. Barry Bonds is sitting there.
Yeah.
Barry Bonds is sitting there hitting 900 home runs, and his team's losing every other game, and I'm sure he was tough to deal with.
My thing, I just don't understand, like, especially the Roger Clemens thing. Roger Clemens was so good later on in his career. I hate I even know this because y'all are going to be like, oh, you're a bigger baseball fan than we thought you were. Goes to New York, doesn't travel with the team, only shows up on days he plays. He was that good to do that, but no.
And he was 43 years old.
Yeah,
we know why he was that good to do that. He was taking steroids.
Yeah, but, I mean, if
Barry
all right,
Bonds,
so let me ask you this. All right, what if the NFL, they were like, you know what, if you use marijuana, you're not going in the Hall of Fame?
It's absurd.
Sounds pretty absurd, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Keep in mind that baseball is the only sport where the Hall of Fame and the actual league, they don't exist. They're 2 separate entities. That's why this happens.
But I'm asking this because I don't know.
Yeah.
Is Barry Bonds' home run, he doesn't own the home run record anymore, but is he still on the list?
Yeah, he owns it. No one's passed him.
Yeah, he's number 1.
Okay, all right.
He'll own it forever. That's
all
probably
right,
not getting broken.
so he is on the list.
Yeah.
All right, they didn't remove it?
No.
Okay, so I mean, I don't understand what the issue is. If it's that big of a deal, why don't they remove his records?
It's not. It's just subjective.
Well, I think so. I think so many of them, and this was the big play whenever he got the home run record, the asterisk. They're not going to take him off of it, and you take him and Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa, and they were integral into bringing baseball back.
Yeah.
Baseball was dying.
And it was dead. And so they're not going to take away their stats because there's such good news and good stories to be able to talk about. Yeah. And so, but I mean, it's just unfortunate once again that, you know, the Hall of Fame has decided to take things that were off the field.
Yeah.
I mean, in Kurt Schilling, he's definitely voiced his opinion. He's definitely going to be on the conservative side, and that's going to irritate, you know, some people that are out there, and they think that they shouldn't, you know, he shouldn't have that platform. Well, if you're going to say that he shouldn't, then maybe you should say that this particular figure should not have that platform either. That's not for us to decide, but I do think that Kurt's on-field performances is deserving to be.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
And you know they're pretty confident that Barry had 400 home runs before he ever even started taking it.
Exactly. He was a Hall of Famer before
he started taking it.
When I said the home run record, I was talking about the single season. He doesn't own the single season home run record.
He owns them both.
Does he?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Y'all see Mark McGuire's home run break? It's in the Hall of Fame. I've been there. It's got an asterisk cut into it. It's actually there with an asterisk cut into it.
Wow.
Someone turned it in, cut it out, turned it into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I just don't understand. I mean, I guess I do understand. The only logical explanation for this that makes sense, if they are thinking like we are, is, in my opinion, baseball is probably the least watched professional sport. I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm guessing. And to get me to sit here and talk about baseball, you have to do something pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here talking about it.
If the fans voted, then those guys would be in. But in order to be allowed to vote, you've got to have 10 years of covering the sport. Mm-hmm. So the actual voters are going to skew a different demographic than the rest of us. That's why there's a big disconnect with who's in and who the public thinks should be in and who the voters think should be in, if that makes sense.
I think the younger the voters get, the more likely he is to get in.
Absolutely.
Well, I mean, you only have a window. Once that window's
falling
gone,
off the ballot. I think
like next year.
That's
it.
Him
and Roger Clemens are falling off next year.
Wow.
So
and Sammy Sosa falls off next year as well. And I mean, I don't think that he's going to have the support to even have a chance next year either. Even if they do make some of these changes that they sort of.
I know what they need to. If Sammy Sosa really wants to get in, need to holler at our boy Craig Jenkins. Need to let Craig do a parody, Hall of Fame parody, get accepted into the Hall of Fame as the Laffy Taffy Sammy Sosa, and it'll go viral, and they'll be like, we got to let this guy in now.
Well,
you know what I'm talking about.
You know, yeah, I do.
Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Or come
find
back
it, find it and play it.
I will tell you.
Find it and play it.
Other than what they accused Sammy of doing or whatever, but after 9/11, what happened? He ran out there with the American flag, and I mean, you ought to see him. I mean, that is one of the most chilling videos I've ever watched on a baseball field.
My dad is not a baseball fan. I remember during that year, we would sit there and watch the Cubs. We'd watch the Cardinals play. When they played each other, it was like must-see TV. I mean, that was a fun time to be.
It literally saved baseball.
Yeah, I mean, I don't watch baseball, and I'm telling you, every time one of them played, we watched. I mean, it was amazing.
No matter what was on ESPN, it went to a live Mark McGuire, live Sammy Sosa at bat. Yeah,
absolutely.
The only feeling I've had with baseball since that time, and this was just one moment, was when the Astros hit that home run in extra innings in the World Series or whatever, and then like I didn't know they had a train in there, and it was like that is the kind of atmosphere I'm talking about right there. That series, that was a great series.
Yeah.
That was a series that I would watch. If every series was like that, I'd be a huge fan.
I would say that we've had huge baseball experiences. You know, me and the boys grew up in baseball, and being able to take them to the parks that we went to and watching the players they love to play. You know, they grew up. They've met a bunch of them, and for them, man, to get to sit there and talk to them and get balls signed and stuff, man, that's just something they're always going to remember. You know, they were sat there and was talking to Chris Sale for 20 minutes, man. Chris Sale, one of the top pitchers in the league, and just an old country boy making $30 million a year.
Yeah,
you know?
I tell you, there's a big difference in a baseball player when you're meeting them, you know, personally. And in my experience, professional football players.
Okay, we know who you met though.
Yeah, I've met a bunch of them.
But yeah.
All right, listen, the coolest one ever, Adam Pac-Man Jones. I don't know how. I met him several times. Dude is super cool, really likable. I don't know how, but I think media gives him a bad rap.
So, funny story about Chris Sale. I'm a huge baseball fan. I mean, I live it. So the White Sox had these really ugly 1940s throwback jerseys that he hated. And he was pitching that day, and they wouldn't change. So he comes into the locker room with a pair of scissors and just cuts his jersey into pieces. He's like, what are we going to do now? And they had to make them wear another jersey because he didn't want to wear the old one.
Wow.
And he's as laid back as he gets, man. Nice guy. He really is. But I knew where you was going with the other one, though. I didn't want to throw the name out there.
What do y'all think about the yeah, man, that dude can kick rocks. What do y'all think about the AFC and NFC Championship game? Is this – I'm going to be honest, I didn't think Tom Brady had it.
I'm going to be honest. I've learned the hard way to not bet against Tom Brady.
Yeah.
I'm betting against Tom Brady. I think Kansas City's gonna pull this out. I'm also taking the over. I think they've got the over under around 55. I think both these quarterbacks are going to put on a show. The one thing that I do like, though, is Tom Brady's got some phenomenal athletes to throw the ball to.
Yes, that wide receiving core is unbelievable. Is Antonio Brown going to play?
Yeah, I imagine.
I think so. He's got a couple weeks off.
I think he will, and then you've also got. I mean, Mike Evans is not 100% either. So, but if he's got his guys,
Mahomes got some athletes too.
Yeah, I'll throw it to Tyreek.
Yeah. What is the line on that game?
3.
Really?
Hold on a second. I actually had it just a second ago.
I didn't know Jay Davis was a gambling man.
It is 3. It was 3 last time.
Our local city councilman.
He's not. It just happens to have the line on the scores. Yeah.
Easy now. Like I said, if character and all that was, you wouldn't have many people up here.
I think Kansas City has the better team. I think Mahomes is a freak. I mean, I just do. I think they have probably the best offensive coordinator in the league, Eric Bieniemy. I think he's going to be a head coach real soon. I think Andy Reid has been a coach. I knew he was going to win a Super Bowl one day till last year, you know. And I'm a big Brady fan. I never count Brady out. So I think it's going to be a close game.
I'm waiting on our producer to find the Sammy Sosa video. He's looking for it. I don't know what all this means.
I think he said check your text message.
Check my text message.
Text message.
I can read that sound language.
I got it screen recorded, but the sound is trash. It doesn't matter. Let's play it. Is this at least PG-13? You don't know? All right. Well,
I don't know.
Yeah, let's just do it anyway. Come on. If you're watching right now, it's Craig Jenkins.
Where is Craig tonight?
I don't know. So he's got a new job. He got a new gig.
Chiefs are giving up 3.
Yeah. Give me the Bucks. Tom Brady's too good. He's too good.
Really close, man.
Tom Brady.
He just wins.
Yeah,
I don't care. He just wins, man.
I saw something that was like Tom Brady is more likely to play for a Super Bowl than Steph Curry is to make a three-pointer. Like, think about that. You know what I mean? That's a pretty crazy stat.
He said he's got more playoff wins after 35 than any quarterback has in the playoffs, period.
Yeah, and he has more Super Bowl appearances than every team minus, like, I think,
the Cowboys and Steelers.
Yeah, something like it, but they didn't include the Patriots.
He's also won the same amount of NFC championships as Rodgers and Breeze.
You didn't have to bring that up. You didn't have to bring that up.
Well, I thought we were going to have a video.
One thing that I do think that could come into play is Brady's interceptions. I mean, I think he's had more this year than he's had in quite a while.
I never thought he could throw the ball downfield anyway. That's just besides the point. But I'm going to pull a Brandon Lawrence out of my back pocket here. You know what I'm talking about. If you play with Tampa Bay on Madden, he could not throw the ball over 15 yards. It floats. And I literally was thinking that and saw it in real life in the game the other night. It just doesn't have any zip on it.
Well, one thing I've watched from Tampa Bay this year, they don't look like they – even though they're winning, even though they're in the Super Bowl, I watch games where you can tell they're not hitting on all cylinders. I still think they're not 100% there. You know, I mean, I don't. And, you know, I think if they play one of their 100% games like you see about every 3 games, I think they'll beat Kansas City. But I think they play how they normally play. I think I think Kansas City will squeak it out.
Well, I think Mahomes can beat you by himself.
Yeah.
But Tampa Bay's running defense is definitely going to have to hold the line. You know, that's been their strength this year on the defensive side. And so they're going to have to hold the Kansas City running game for them to have a chance. So, I mean, you know, that could be an interesting piece of it as well.
Let's see this video here.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
I don't know. Should I be able to hear this? I don't hear anything.
It's all right. Doesn't appear we have any audio, but that's all right.
This is what
You
Sammy
get the
Sosa.
gist.
Sammy Sosa needs to make a video like this. We need to make this go viral.
Is that correct?
And see it. It's hilarious.
So Game Day's been very, very good to him.
And get this on ESPN. Let me see if I hear it on my phone.
It looks a lot like Sammy now, though.
Nah, there's no audio. I can't hear it on here anyway.
It's all right.
All right, well,
We tried.
you got the picture. Anyway, let's take a quick break. We will come back with future five-star recruit Derrick Brown. All right, we are back. We got Derrick Brown with us. Hey, put up the artwork of all these offers he has. He's got too many of them. By the way, you can't tell on camera, but Derrick Brown smells amazing. What kind of cologne he's wearing, but smells really good.
It almost smells like a vanilla candle, doesn't it?
Yeah, I got a whiff of it a minute ago.
You look at the panel. We needed that.
I had to look around to see what was going on.
Yeah, we gotta figure out
turns
what
out
that
it was
is.
him.
There we go.
All right. Well, there it is. Well, it's kind of on, kind of not.
We got some missized situation. It's not our fault.
All right, so let me take a look here. I'm going to guess your top three. Tell me if I'm right. Actually, I'm going to do top five because I want to put you in a bad position. Let me take a look here.
Right.
Oklahoma's in it for sure. Oklahoma State's in it for sure because why wouldn't they be? I guess I'm going to throw Arkansas in there because you're in Texarkana and Billy Lavender's a fan. All right. Baylor.
I'm going to say Penn State.
No. Let's say K-State's got cool uniforms. No?
No.
And
It's three of them are right, though.
He's literally wearing
yeah.
purple.
Are four of them right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So outside of K-State, Penn State?
You missed Arkansas the whole time.
I put Arkansas in there.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, they shouldn't be on there.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, okay, all right. Now you're talking my language. Now you're talking my language.
Can't get us in trouble.
All right, I know Coach Traylor's a fun recruiter, so UTSA, it'd be hard to choose San Antonio when you could go to Oklahoma, in my opinion. But Traylor's a great recruiter.
Sounds like somebody's
If
never
you're not
played
going to
San Antonio.
Arkansas, you're not going to Arkansas State. If you're not going to Kansas State, you're not going to go to Kansas. Indiana's got a cool stadium.
Does Georgia Tech sneak in there?
I bet that's it.
No?
Wait.
All right.
All it leaves is Wake Forest.
Houston.
SMU, baby. Man wants to be a Mustang. Is that what they're called? I don't know. All right, so you really got a top three.
Y'all forgetting Minnesota.
Is Minnesota in there?
Oh, there they are. They got the
It's
big hole in
cold
the
up
middle.
there.
Right there. I know.
Why is Minnesota taking up so much space? Never even heard of that place. No, I'm just
Hey,
kidding.
man, have you been to Minnesota?
Hey, it's cold,
It
dog.
looked
It's cold,
good, it looked
man.
good though.
It's cold.
Wait, I thought they played in the dome. That went away.
Not sure in the college.
All right, so tell me how this goes. All right, I forgot to count. He had it up, and I meant to count them, but I think there's, 16 or 17 or something? All right, so tell me, how does this work? Are they showing up at the school? Or they're just calling? How does this work?
Sometimes, well, basically, either they'll text me on Twitter and ask for my number, or my coach will tell me, and I either call them or they'll call me.
Okay. All right, who's been the biggest person where you were like, oh, wow factor, man, I can't believe I'm talking to them?
I think I'm going to have to go with David Randa.
I don't know who that is. Who is that?
It was LSU defensive coordinator.
Okay, all right. I thought it was somebody maybe I should know, but Tony didn't know who it was either.
But he went to Baylor.
Oh, he's at Baylor now? What is, like, the one school that you're like, man, I hope I get an offer from them?
Ohio State.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Good school.
I've always wanted to go to a game up there. I played high school football with a guy. He played for the University of Houston. His very first game started middle linebacker. They run out of the tunnel. What do they call it? The horseshoe? What do they call it? I forget what it's called.
Yeah.
Horseshoe. Okay. He runs out, and he said, Morgan, I can't even explain to you. It was deafening. The ground was shaking. He said, and I'm not joking. Like, it was like we lost. Like, we weren't going to win anyway, but we knew as soon as we ran out of the tunnel, it was over with. Yeah. It was just the most. He can't just. He said, I can't. There's nothing I can say to describe the environment that we experienced.
I think they cram 108,000 in there for Saturday.
So I was talking to Nate Jones one day, and Nate played for the Longhorns, and he played in the against USC in the national championship. Played 3 or 4 years in the NFL, and we were talking. And I was like, Nate, serious question. I was like, everywhere you ever played, what is the best venue you've ever played at? And he said, man, Tony, I ain't gonna lie to you, Ohio State. He said, out of pros, out of college. He said,
man, but that was number 2 versus 3. Like the atmosphere had to have been. What is that player that I really, really like for University of Texas? Remember, they didn't even have this dude's jersey, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go get one made. I liked him so much. Remember, he played running back, and he was like 280 pounds.
Oh, Henry Melton.
Henry Melton,
He moved to defensive end and went to the NFL. Yeah.
You know who coached Henry Melton in high school?
I don't.
Jerry Stanford.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Okay.
How small of a world is that?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that wild? You probably don't know who Henry Melton is. Let me tell you something. I'm trying to think of somebody y'all played that I compare him to. There's nobody to compare him to. Who do we know that we can compare to Henry Melton?
It'd be like if Landon had another 40 pounds.
If Tony Langford ran a 4.4, all right, that would be what Henry Melton was.
and he does in the 20.
Yeah, I doubt it.
About the 17.
All right, so I'll never forget Henry Melton doing this, and I'm sorry we're off subject. You brought up Ohio State. Playing Ohio State in the shoe. He's running. He's 280 pounds. He's going for the go-ahead touchdown, and he jumps in the air instead of running over a DB. And because he jumped in the air, the DB stood him up and tackled him at the 1. It was turnover on downs. It was like this dude let a 190-pound cornerback stop him at the 1 because he's trying to get on ESPN, jumping over him. Like, what an idiot.
Yeah, at his smallest, I think he was 280 playing running back. It was ridiculous.
He got large in the NFL. Ohio State, what would be the next one? What's the next offer you're looking for? What is that one offer you get and you're like, all right, it's done?
I don't really think it's one.
All right, I like it. I like the answer. All right.
Yeah, that's a great answer as a junior.
I thought burnt orange would. I think that would look good on him.
Man, I don't know. After watching this last class come out and not hating on University of Texas, I'm a big University of Texas fan. I just don't. I think with a talent like Clayton, Landon, Marcus, Derrick has, I don't think it's a safe bet. It's not what it was that we remember, in my opinion.
Well, I think
in my opinion, literally means nothing. Let's keep that in mind.
And I think Texas is going to have to find they've got to find that running game again. And to me, that's been absent the past few years. And
that's the thing,
Jay. It has, but they did.
I don't know how.
This year.
They have 2 of the top running backs in the last 3-year class. Like, how is it bad?
Well, I think it goes back to the line. I mean, to me, the line has been what has been susceptible to our running backs the past few years.
Hey, they started that 5-star last 4 or 5 games.
Oh, and he went off.
He went off. He's like third. He's like favored to be in the Heisman running this year.
I'm so upset with Texas. I don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah.
All right, Derrick, back to you. So great season this year. Fun to watch. When did you know, like, all right, I've turned the point? Because as a sophomore, you weren't heavily recruited or at all, were you?
No, not really.
All right, so like I remember last year, when you came out this year, I remember that Tyler game. We were sitting right beside and I literally said, who is number 41? I didn't know who you were. I was like, that he's really, really good. And another game came out. I finally asked Stanford, I was like, who's number 41? Oh, he's Derrick Brown. You're going to hear a lot about him. I was like, well, of course I'm going to hear a lot about him. I'm sitting there watching him every game. balling out. Like, when was that moment when you were like, all right, I'm that dude?
I think it was Mount Pleasant game. Yeah, I believe it was Mount Pleasant game.
Mount Pleasant played y'all a lot tougher than I thought they were going to. But what happened in the Mount Pleasant game?
It's like everything I did, I executed, and then when I got when I stripped the ball out, he was like this.
Oh yeah, when that video, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Derrick, I was reading one of your posts the other day. I actually loved it. You was sitting there, you was talking about how nobody really thought much of you. Didn't think you was going to be nothing. And now look at what you're doing, man. You're getting a new offer every other day, man. So we're proud of you, for real.
You know, with these offers, I was telling the guys this last year, it comes a lot of responsibility. And I don't mean just for you with these offers. You probably don't know it. I'm going to let's link this back to, I think Landon was the first one. Everybody started coming to town because Landon was here. Marcus got found. Clayton, he got found a little later, but Clayton ends up being the only 5-star recruit out of the group. All right, so what you don't realize is all these schools are coming, and it's finding a lot of these other players. And I don't mean like the D1 guys, like they're going to get found. I mean like these D2, D3 guys, like these schools that show up, and they're really like, you're not going to go there, but they have to show up to say they did.
Yeah.
And they're finding a lot of these other players. And that's what it's kind of bringing. Like, you are that next dude. Like, you will be responsible for a lot of players who normally wouldn't get to go play at Henderson State, Ouachita Baptist, a school in Oklahoma, but they're going to get that coverage because you're getting there's so much going on here and so many people are looking at you. And a lot of people don't realize that. I was playing with Landon one day and he's like, I guess you're right. You know?
Happens all the time.
Yeah, it really does. So what are you being recruited as? I mean, it seems to me like you and Clayton really mirror each other a lot. Same body type, not the same height. Like, you're going to be outside linebackers next level?
Yeah, they say either outside. Well, if I put on the weight, they said I could be a hybrid defensive end and outside linebacker. So, but they said they might have me rushing the passer more because that's what makes you money.
I like it.
So who's the Derrick Brown next year, right? So you had Clayton on the other end and allowed you to go ham a little bit, right? So who's that kid next year, because you're wreaking so much havoc, is going to be like, whoa, like, this ain't fair.
It's going to be either, the other defensive end?
Yeah.
It's going to be
who do we look out for?
Braxton White or Nathan Tyler Moore.
Gotcha. So who's going to be the better college edge rusher, you or Clayton, when it's all said and done? You?
Me.
All right.
How hard's Clayton recruiting you right now?
Hard. I just got off the phone with him and Coach Kane the other day.
Now that would be something neat to see. I mean, to have two.
Hey, I want to go to the Oklahoma game this year. So whenever you want to take your visit, holler at me. I will roll up there.
All right.
And we're not bringing Tony.
No, we are rolling.
No. Tony's done said he's a big Texas fan. And you can't take a big Texas fan to Oklahoma.
He's a Texas fan.
I said last week I have no reason
to
be loyal to Texas anymore.
Oh,
I'm officially
taking.
I don't have anybody I know there. I'm an LSU fan, Oklahoma State, Texas A&M fan. But if you want my loyalty, it requires field passes. That's exactly what I said. And a lot of truth to that statement, and I meant it.
That's true.
All right, so I'm not going to go to a Texas game.
Well, Derrick.
Derrick.
Some of the research I did has you coming in at 6'5".
Yeah.
And about 200 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Between now and the first snap, how much weight do you think that you'll be able to put on your frame and still move like you want to move?
215, 220. I'm already gained 6 pounds now. So
you look bigger than that to me. I thought you was heavier than that.
I'm gonna get there.
So I got a chance to watch every game. I did the Texas High stuff for us, and I know what you do well. What's your biggest weakness? What do you need to improve to really just take it to 5-star level next year? What are you going to work on?
Running past my landmark on the quarterback. Because when I'll keep rushing. Even if I go past him, I got to learn to redirect and get back under the lineman. Will
we see you playing wide receiver next year too?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
I can certify that because I asked Stanford that question.
Oh, you did?
He said, yes, he's going to play receiver.
That was the funnest thing about Clayton is the whole game, he's standing right there by Stanford just like nudging him. Hey, don't forget I'm here. And as soon as you saw him walk on the field, you knew what was coming, right?
Yes.
There's no way to defend it either.
A little jump ball.
As a matter of fact, that Mount Pleasant game, somebody from Oklahoma was there, and I remember standing in the end zone, and he's like, are they going to throw the ball to Clayton? I said, if Clayton's on the field, they're throwing him the ball. Yeah. Like, they don't even hide it. If he's standing out there, it's coming to him. And they didn't throw to him like 3 straight plays. And this guy just looks at me and walks off.
Do you have the one-handed grab down yet?
I'll get there.
All right.
I don't think my hands.
I'm just going to let you know if you make it. All right, so I'll let you slide. Clayton tells me he never drops passes. So I couldn't let it slide. Every time he dropped a pass, I put it in slow motion, put it, and I wouldn't even just send it to him. I just post it online. You got to have thick skin with me because I got to be able to make fun of you.
Are we going to find a picture of you in a Longhorn jersey somewhere down the road that we can, from your childhood, that we can post one day?
No.
No, it doesn't exist. All right.
The Claytons exist.
Yeah.
And I've actually found more of them than just the one I have. You can go to his mom's Facebook page. She's got a bunch of them. Evidently, she was a Texas fan. Do you have any cousins or parents or anything that play professional sports, anything like that? I've learned a lot about Clayton. Clayton's family,
Yeah, they athletes.
you do not want to show up at the barbecue and be like, hey, let's do something athletic because you're not going to win.
Yeah, Drew, my son was telling me he thought his brother was playing.
His brother played at Minnesota and then played in the NFL or something like that.
He played for the Steelers. Yeah, for the Steelers.
His dad played in the NFL?
I don't know.
Or he played major college football. I know that. Does he have another brother or sister that played in the WNBA or something?
He got a sister.
Does she play in the WNBA? Something like – I don't like everybody.
I think he said she played overseas.
Okay. All right. So long story short, his family would definitely beat Tony Langford's family and everything but baseball.
They might beat us in that.
Well, Derrick, what are you most excited about? Just the process of getting recruited and starting to see your name show up on Twitter and show up on these social media, platforms with your name on it, saying that they're recruiting you.
Honestly, I don't really know what too much I could be excited about. I'm just blessed to have this opportunity because I wasn't really big. I wasn't really that type of kid you would think that like this will happen to because I went from B team 2 years in a row and then I got on varsity, never played, so nobody never knew what to expect.
So how does – oh, sorry.
Well, and I was in hearing that, I think that you're going to have a great platform next year for the TISD program to let the young men know that, and especially as large as the football program is at the junior high level, I mean, you've got 7th grade A and B team. You've got 8th grade A and B team. I mean, you've got 100 kids out there, and to let them know that just because I'm on the B team, 7th and 8th grade year, that I'm still going to have the opportunity to play varsity ball and make an impact. That's the biggest thing that I am looking forward to you is just the impact that you're going to make. And, now just hearing your story, just saying that, hey, I haven't always been a starter. Man, you're going to have a great story to be able to tell those young men and young ladies, just within y'all's program. Yeah,
I mean, you're going to be the face of Texas High's program. I mean, that's how we're going to be marketing it anyway. Brayson McHenry's like right up there. Has he got any offers yet?
I don't see why.
I don't know either. He's one of the best high school quarterbacks I've seen. I've literally watched the Rockwall quarterback twice play in person. He's got like 35 every SEC team, every Big 12. He's been offered by everybody, and it's like
some of the stuff he does you can't teach.
Well, his
the
pocket
way
presence
he feels
is
pressure. His
pocket presence is above most quarterbacks.
Yeah. His dad's 6'4", 6'5". I mean, so
I think it's coming. It's coming.
Yeah, I just don't. I'm a lot of this stuff with the recruiting things, I don't understand some of it. Like, I don't understand why, like, let's say, I don't want to compare anybody, but a lot of it's just, I'm just going to use him as a reference. If the 2 Rockwall quarterbacks have SEC offers, and Brayson, I mean, he didn't throw for, I don't know how many yards he threw for, but I know they threw for like 3,500 yards. They played in 14 games, 16 games. And Brayson, they don't throw – like Texas High throws the ball, but they throw the ball every down there. I mean, he didn't have as many opportunities.
I think he still threw for like 29.
His completion percentage was like 68% or something.
I think it was 29-50.
That's what I think it was.
And he was throwing the ball downfield. It's not like he's throwing Tom Brady – I mean, don't be a hater. It's not like he's throwing dump passes.
Yeah.
He's throwing the ball downfield. So I don't know.
They'll come.
I do know that – he is going to get recruited with Coach Stanford there. He's going to go somewhere, but it's weird how they decide who.
I think you'll get a day one offer.
I think he should have a bunch by now. Is my point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, outside of Ryan Mallett and keep in mind I'm not from this area, so I'm really asking. There's a lot of ignorance in this question I'm going to ask. Has there been a quarterback?
No.
Okay.
And I was going to bring that up. Right now, I think a lot of the recruiting that we have, they're sending their defensive-minded recruiter to our area
what was his name?
in East Texas.
Freeman was pretty recruited. The quarterback for LE. What his name was? Freedom. Went to Freeman. Went to LSU. Not LSU, but SMU.
What local guy? What's his name? Craig Jenkins, right?
Yeah.
I heard he
Dude's
plays quarterback.
got a statue being built and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
So we know football is your main squeeze. What's the other sport that if you just went out there and paid all your attention to that, you could just dominate?
Basketball.
Yeah, basketball.
Is it? I want to see you dunk on.
Do you really have a 36-inch vertical?
Yes.
My goodness.
So if you're 6'5", Frank, how tall? I'm trying to do quick math in my head.
Are you asking how tall I am?
No, I'm asking a stupid question. I shouldn't even ask it. Delete that out of there. So we're having the combine.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I need you to participate in it. Give me what you think your stats are going to be for it. All right, so we're for sure going to do 40.
Mm-hmm.
We're probably, so everybody can lift, we'll do 185-pound, rep max or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Have Donnie do that. So we'll do 40 that. We'll do vertical. We'll do some cone drill stuff. Well, out of those main three, what are you going to run the 40 in?
40, probably 4.63, 4.6.
All right. 185. How many times do you think you're going to throw that up?
I think I could do 185 by 20.
All right. And you think your vertical is going to increase or just mark you for 36 and you're going to be like, no, I ain't doing it?
I want it to increase.
All right.
I'm trying to reach at least 37, 38.
That's going to give the quarterback quite a large diameter to be able to put a ball.
You know when he said that? You know what immediately popped in my head? Remember Roy Williams in the UT and Texas game? Not Texas Roy Williams, Oklahoma Roy Williams.
Yeah.
Jumping over the dude at the goal line. That's immediately what I thought about.
Man, I loved watching Roy Williams, though, man. He was a hard-hitting dude. Got to the NFL and didn't cover very well, but he would knock you out.
He would not be successful in today's NFL.
Well,
you probably don't remember who
he
Roy
wasn't
Williams
successful at the end of his
safety.
career. I mean, the reason he had to retire is because he couldn't cover nobody. He could hit people at the line,
This
but
guy,
he couldn't cover nobody.
You're probably too young. You don't know who Sean Taylor. You probably know who Sean Taylor is, but you never watched him play. Roy Williams, I think, was a lot more aggressive than Sean Taylor. Sean Taylor was that dude, but Roy Williams, they literally created rules. Like you can't, you know how like
the horse
collar rule. Roy Williams, but he was ending people's career.
He broke Terrell Owens' leg.
Yeah. I mean, he's the first dude I'm sure it's happened, but the first guy I can remember in a game cracking an actual helmet. Like I remember them having the thing, you could see the padding.
I miss them kind of hits though, man. They don't have it no more. I miss them hits.
I wonder what old Roy's doing now.
Hopefully he can say Roy Williams.
Yeah, I have a signed helmet.
Spell his name.
I have a signed helmet in my home office from him when he won the national championship at Oklahoma. Not that anybody cares.
Google the Roy Williams play. Just call it the Superman play. It is awesome, man.
He looked at. He knows about. I was about to ask him to pull it up.
Cam's like, oh no.
Cam's like, God,
you'll be impressed. It's fun. They go to snap the ball and he jumps over the whole line and smashes the quarterback.
He probably has 36, 37-inch vertical.
Yeah.
So, man, what's the funnest part of the recruiting thing for you? We're gonna wrap it up here soon. What's the funnest part for you?
Like so far?
Yeah.
How about this? Better question. Not better question. What's it like on the phone? Is it are you guys having a friendly conversation? Is it just BS, or do they just get straight to the point? Hey, I'm Coach so-and-so, and I want you to come play for Penn State. How's that conversation? I'm trying to wrap my head around that conversation.
Some coaches get straight to the point. Some coaches want to get to know about you, which I like.
Yeah.
Because you shouldn't want to recruit somebody off their ability. You got to get to know them.
Yeah.
So, or either they'll, like, ask how I've been,
yeah.
and then they'll ask, like.
Has any coach made you laugh yet?
Yeah.
Who's the funniest coach you dealt with?
I think it's Coach Blanchard from Baylor. He funny. Like, we tight.
You hear that? Baylor fans?
Well, I hope Sarkisian saw this and he knows to ask about you rather than just quit make that offer.
Steve, bring your sense of humor to the phone.
That's right.
He don't look like he has one.
No.
I'll let y'all know. They hired Tom Herman 2.0. Anyway, they increased their recruiting staff from 12 people to 51.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. I was in Longview. A guy that played for Texas, he was telling me about it. He was like, what What are we in January? So February 1st, they'll have everybody hired, and 51 recruiters. Alabama has like 45. So it's all going to be donor funded too. So
Texas is wanting to make a splash quick then.
Well,
I guess what he's saying is look out for that car with the trunk popping out front.
No.
Texas is making some good hires as assistant coaches right now. I wasn't real big on the head coaching.
Texas can't do no wrong with them. With these two down here. They've been terrible. They got this one kid, coming up. Looks like win a national championship by himself.
They've got the talent. Somebody's got to do something with it.
Well, should hire Tony Langford.
Well, they'd win.
Oh, boy.
All right, man. We plan on having you on a lot. I'm glad you were able to come on tonight. I've been seeing all these offers pop up. We communicate quite a bit. And my graphic artist is like, you want to just wait till the end of the week every week and do this? I'm like, well, let's go ahead and get this knocked out. But anyway, Tony, you got anything?
No, man. Derrick, we're glad to have you on, man. We're proud of you. Just keep doing what you do, man.
Got you.
You've got more fans. It's going to be fun.
I'm waiting for this. I'm just ready for the season.
I'm ready for the season too.
Yeah.
It could start tomorrow for me.
There used to be like the worst time of year for me was the day after the NBA champion, the final NBA championship game.
Just baseball for about a month.
And then the football season. That gap right there, I used to drive me insane. You can't turn on ESPN without baseball being on. But now it's kind of like, I miss football already.
He's a closet baseball fan.
I mean, I don't know how I knew as much as I did a little while ago. Somebody did. Sammy Sosa played for the Cubs.
He did, yes.
Somebody put on here he played for the Red Sox. I don't know what I'm talking about.
No, he did not play
so
for
whoever
the
put
Red
that in the comments, I mean, I knew I was right.
He's not allowed
he made me question myself.
He's not allowed to comment anymore.
No.
Yeah,
Block him.
All right. Appreciate everybody watching. We'll see you next week. Derrick, appreciate you being on.
Hey, he did play for the Rangers, though. I'm going to cut you off right there. That's where he started.
Yeah, was it started or in a career?
Both.
Did he
came back.
I got an Alex Rodriguez story. Senior in high school, going into my senior year in high school. Alex Rodriguez's birthday, don't know which one. He's playing for the Rangers. He hits a grand slam to where I'm sitting. It hits my forearm. Didn't get the ball.
Come on, man.
I swear to God, it happened.
Catch it, man.
I wasn't expecting it. I was not having fun. Didn't really want to be there. Middle of summer, I think he has probably a July birthday. It was hot. Hits it, and somebody who doesn't play baseball, your depth perception of a baseball coming at you,
hit in the face.
It comes a lot faster than you think it's coming. It's like you're looking up, and it's kind of like there, and then all of a sudden,
bam!
We
need to show that clip next week.
I would love to see.
I bet you if you go if you put it in on YouTube. Matter of fact,
no, he can't do
it. Okay, all right.
Actually, he's got another producer up here.
If you go back on the day,
keep in mind, ESPN was in early stages, but this is like
it won't be in HD.
Yeah, I mean, the dude who cans up and hits me in the arm, that's me. Won't recognize me. I'm probably 130 pounds, but, Anyway, all right, man, we are out of here.